Who better to get a sense of this? Former UK Parliament member John Browne, with all these heightened alerts in Europe. John, always good to see you. What do you make of that? When various agencies come out of various countries to warn against travel, for example, to their neck of the woods, they're obviously worried. Should they be?
Yes, and the reason I think the British do not put the top height yet is because you want to discourage the enemy from thinking that it's working and disrupting your country. And so although probably the secret services and armed forces are on a pretty high alert, publicly they're not saying this because they don't want the terrorist to feel he's winning. And that's part of the psychological battle. Do you think, when, as you know, the Prime Minister has been trying very hard, Cameron, to move Britain toward the EU and maybe eventually take the euro. Do you think today's developments set that back rather dramatically? Oh, yes, definitely, because the immigration issue, where the politicians opened the immigration by unseating Saddam Hussein, the tyrant, and who kept the lid on the Middle East. They broke that lid and the immigrants flowed in. They've got easy immigration and now they've got free movement. Thank God Britain isn't in the Schengen plan, but it's absolutely heightened the awareness of this flood of Muslim and potential terrorism into Europe and has greatly increased the psychological battle for an exit. Then you've got the most important politician in Britain, really, other than the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who's moved into that camp. The former leader of the Conservative Party, Duncan Smith, has also moved into that camp. The rumour that the Queen was pro-Brexit was hotly denied, but nonetheless the damage was done because for once it looked like it was probably not taboo to discuss. And so he's in real pressure. But the European Union needs Britain. Britain's the second largest economy, according to the IMF, in Europe, the second largest net contributor to the European Union, has an independent nuclear deterrent, has a permanent seat on the United Nations, and has a very special relationship with the United States, which the European Union is jealous of and wants severed. They need it. We also have an adverse trade balance of 24 billion a year average over the last 20 years with Europe. So money is flowing from Britain into Europe. They need us. We're one of the most stable economies in the world, and therefore in future looking like we'll help finance their debt problems in the Mediterranean countries and the bank problems in the Mediterranean countries. So they need us, and Britain is just waking up to it, and also waking up to the fact that under the European Union plans, the countries like Britain are going to be dissolved. There will not be a Britain anymore. Scotland is going to be a region, Wales a region, Northern Ireland. Britain's going to be broken into 9 regions, each reporting directly to Brussels. And therefore all this scare tactics that the Prime Minister talks about, oh, well, if Britain leaves, Scotland might leave Britain. Scotland's going to be taken away from Britain anyway. So these scare tactics are going to be really hyped up, not only by Cameron, who must rue the day he didn't honour his cast-iron guarantee to give Britain this referendum in the last Parliament, and he's going to be more lies, more deceit, to deceive the British people into thinking it's in their interest to stay in the European Union, when it is most decidedly not.
All right, I didn't understand the last 2 minutes what you said, but it sounds very convincing. Well, no, I'm kidding. It was very profound. And I like what you said the last time you were here. If the French want it, I don't. Which that I understood. That I understood. John Browne, thank you, my friend. I do appreciate it.